Hello YouTube, I'm Pinstar, and this is a Tropico 5 quick tip video. I'm not going to be doing a traditional full strategy and tactics let's play of Tropico, but I am interested and in love with this game, and I'm absolutely going to be doing a series of shorter, quicker tips for you, for your enjoyment and for your hopefully education. So let us get started with a tip that I've found very useful for starting off. Now this is more in sandbox mode, but it might apply to other campaigns and missions in which you can have these options here. So we're going to start off here. The first tip for you is when starting a new dynasty, the very first person to pick in your dynasty I've found is make them a celebrity. The celebrity gives you a 10% boost to all foreign aid received. Now, that might not seem like much, but compare it to, say, the other ones that give money at the start. Over the course of one era, the amount of extra foreign aid cash that you receive is actually going to be more significant and more, well, just more than any of the other ones that give you strictly money. The other good thing is by keeping that person as president, that trait continues to be useful in all four eras. So you don't need to worry about it becoming sort of invalid or whatnot. And when you get to either the Cold War / modern times era, where a different person serving as presidente might be useful, you can demote them to being a manager, at which point they just give their bonus to a hotel. But by the later game, you're probably going to be having a hotel or two, so you can actually make use of that. Alright, so for our map settings here, we're going to just do a randomly generated map starting in the colonial era. I'm going to be starting with $10,000 since that's what most scenarios start you out with. High difficulty, I'm not quite going for the Ultramax. Rare disasters, I'm not too fond of them, but I don't want to turn them off altogether, so we'll get started here. Now, as a way to sort of leverage this particular strategy, first thing you want to do...
Old chap, have I got a deal for you today?
Well,
as Crown Representative, I can offer you your very own trading license.
Now, of the options here, you absolutely do not want to get the license from the Dutch, because you want to keep Crown relations as high as possible so you can reap the most amount of foreign aid out of them, so that more money can be applied to your celebrity bonus. So that leaves us the silver and the platinum packages. Now, there's a couple of different approaches here. If you're starting off with 10,000, the platinum package is actually affordable and gives you a higher chance that one of the starting trade routes available is going to be one with the Crown, which will increase your relations with the Crown, more so than, say, for example, doing a lucrative route with the smugglers or the pirates, which the Crown does not like. So we're going to actually buy the platinum package. We're going to be sucking up to the Crown big time here, but it is going to pay us back. Okay, so let us take a look at what we have here for trade offers. Alright, pineapples, wool. Alright, wool's good. That's actually a pretty good price for wool. Tobacco, that's a pretty good price for tobacco. I'm not a fan of tobacco just in general. Well, that's the smugglers. We don't want to deal with the smugglers. So our main options here are wool and tobacco. So being as such, well, hang on, let's...
As you know, His Majesty is fond of setting fire to things. He has decided to build the world's largest bonfire and needs all the wood he can get.
Okay, so our mission is going to be logging camps, but we're not going to focus so heavily on that. What we're going to do is we're just going to build one unit to sort of satisfy the quest demands, but what we're really going to focus on is my next tip for this video. And that is cotton. Oh boy, do I like cotton. And we're lucky in that we have we have some really, really good cotton growing grounds here. So what we're going to do is find ourselves a nice patch of cotton here that is still close to an edge, but still within all the green. Let's say about right about here. I'm going to get 2 of those. so. And the other thing we're going to get here is a ranch. And we want, yes, we want a cattle ranch. Let's get roads hooked up to all of these. Now, the synergy between cotton and cattle ranches is twofold. First off, in the early game, well, we have to wait for them to finish building, so we'll let them do that. I'll put a cut here real quick to let them finish building, and then we'll return once they are done being built. And we're back. Okay, so we have ourselves our 2 cotton plantations built and our cattle ranch. Now, the reason why I think this is such a good synergy, and also the reason why I placed them in this manner, is this. In the early game, we're actually a little bit short on population. See, we can't actually fill most of these open slots. And that hurts their work output, understandably so. But their upgrade, each individual crop has its own unique upgrade that you can do once you research the sickle. And this one's is Mechanization. Not only does it increase effectiveness by 20, which is big, it decreases the number of workers by 2. So not only does that use up less of your population for working the fields, it allows you to have to, basically you can pay 2 fewer people and get the same amount of, actually get more amount of benefit from the farm. Now, what does that have to do with cattle? Well, the cattle's upgrade is manure fertilizer, which increases the effectiveness of every nearby plantation and hydroponics farm by 10 based on the effectiveness of this one. Now, the other nice thing is these 2 are cash crops. The cattle ranch provides both meat and milk, which are non-cash crops. They can be used for local consumption. So this little block right here, 2 cotton and 1 cattle, not only benefit each other, but they also keep your population fed and the money flowing in. Now, in order to build those, you do have to build yourself a library, which is what we are doing right now, and that's also why we are so far into debt. But it is certainly worth it. I also threw down a logging camp to satisfy the needs of that. Now, if we had gotten really lucky, the quest chain would have been for the undergarment quest chain, where they start asking for llama farms and cotton. But that doesn't look like that's what it's going to be here. But I still say that this is probably one of the strongest openings in total. So once these get going, we'll find ourselves very quickly back into the black here, and the crown very happy with our exports here. So I hope this helps you get established in the world of Tropico 5.
His Royal Majesty has instructed me to present you with this letter of commendation for your achievements in the name of the Empire.
Now, in terms of choosing your rewards here for these royal commendations, I have to say your first gut instinct is probably going to be to take the treasury subsidy, an extra $5,000 in the bank. Nope. And Fresh Colonist is not that strong of a pick either, because over time they will eventually be coming. At least in the early ones, the 2 strongest are either Swiss Bank or additional mandate extensions. And for the first one, since we don't know how difficult this is going to be and it's not along our focus, I'm going to go for the mandate. If the quest chain had been the one for the undergarments, I would have gone for the personal gift, because I know I could hit all the quests quite effectively with the economic stuff we're doing anyway. Okay, so I think I'm going to pause it here. So if you enjoyed this quick tip video and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, and by all means, leave me a comment. Your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this is Pinstar signing out. Have a good one, everyone.